people come and gather round me, listen to me sing my song. I'm a windless seed in a land of greed, living with a dream gone wrong. Ah, but someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. I reckon out of them born bookie, I tell you that it ain't no lie. I can't even cross my arm for fear I'd surely die. Ah, but someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. I left me aged parents, living on ticking in trash. The house was sliding down a brick seam, waiting for the cold boiled cash. Ah, but someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. Ah, yes, someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. I once loved a brown-haired woman, she left me for the place on high. Now she's looking for the great North Road, the twinkle in her old man's eye. Ah, but someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. One day I get me mojo working, spitting on the horseshoe crown. Well, you can't do me harm with your hex and your charm, walking the sun rays round. Ah, but someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. So people come and gather round me, listen to me sing my song. I'm a windless seed in a land of greed, living with a dream gone wrong. Ah, but someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. Ah, yes, someday, some say, we'll all be growing greener in the North Country. Hello. Doesn't feel like a month since we were here, but here we are still. And I hope you're receiving us all right. The weather's terrible, so I don't know if that makes any difference. But I hope you're all feeling okay and staying safe out there. If you're in England, you're probably all at the pub, or maybe not. And I've had a load of requests for tonight. I'm going to be here for the next hour or so, I think. And thanks for everybody who supported me last time. It was unbelievable. Thanks ever so much. And thanks for everybody who's requested stuff this time. And this is that was a song called "The Call for the North Country" from a record I did back in 1993 with the Bad Pennies, called "Bead Weeps." This was just before that, and it was a record called, it was an LP in fact, called Bad Penny, and this is a coal mining song. This is called a small coal song. It goes like this. your songs, but what do you know? I heard me old friend say, your back's as straight as props and sleepers, your skin's as smooth as stemming clay, and them small cold will be the death of me. Well, you come to me with damn fool questions of things I just as soon forget. Warm and dry, you'll want me thinking, falling cages, looking wet, and them small cold will be the death of me. It's not work, it's just hard labor. There were men in 39 rather risk their necks as soldiers sooner than crawl round down some mine, and them small will be the death of me. Well, I hear you in your barroom chorus. I can't help thinking of the day when they handed me pit clothes. You were off and on your way, and them small cold will be the death of me. So sing your songs, but what do you know? I heard me old friend say, your back's as straight as props and sleepers, your skin's as smooth as stemming clay, and them small cold will be the death of me. Yes, them small cold will be the death of me. Small cold song, and this is, as I said, a lot of requests for tonight. It's I was going to call it Housebound Choice, but that's not a very good thing. Anyway, this is an earlier song. This is about a fellow called Chick Henderson, who is a singer from West Hartlepool, up there in the northeast of England, and he was a kind of a big band singer back in the 1930s, and sadly when he went off to join the Navy in the Second World War, that was the end of him really. He didn't return from the war, but he's still very well remembered among people of a certain generation. And this is a song I did back in 1985. It's called Chick Henderson's March, and I haven't done this one probably since 1986, but I'll give it a shot. And it's kind of it refers like to the celebrity culture, which is of the time, really. And you'll see what I mean. Chick Henderson's March goes like this. Oh, the tongues all chatter, oh, the tongues all chime, but there's always a tongue or two that talks like mine. Guns might rattle, oh, the guns might roar, but me and Chick Henderson are marching off to war. And there's no fear for where we're going, be it farthest land or highest sea. The likes of him will be out there singing, oh, so that's the place for the likes of me. Oh, the tongues all chatter, oh, the tongues all chime, but there's always a tongue or two that talks like mine. Guns might rattle, oh, the guns might roar, but me and Chick Henderson are marching off to war. If you listen hard, you can hear them coming as they're marching down from the whole world wide. And he doesn't know me from Adam, but the hometown boys will be side by side. Tongues all chatter, oh, the tongues all chime, but there's always a tongue or two that talks like mine. Guns might rattle, oh, the guns might roar, but me and Chick Henderson are marching off to war. And there's a song or two we can sing together, for to pass the time as the days roll by. They say that we're in for wind and weather, but it won't be long till our feet are dry. Oh, the tongues all chatter, oh, the tongues all chime, but there's always a tongue or two that talks like mine. Guns might rattle, oh, the guns might roar, but me and Chick Henderson are marching off to war. The tongues all chatter, the tongues all chime, but there's always a tongue or two that talks like mine. Guns might rattle, oh, the guns might roar, but me and Chick Henderson are marching off to war. Chick Henderson's March. And I've got all different instruments here, and this down here this one is my original bouzouki, my file bouzouki it's 40 years old. It's exactly 40 years old, and it's looking a bit worse for wear, and it's still got the I haven't used this for years and years, but it's got a nice sound to it. It's still got a big mark here where a hero of mine, Cyril Tawney, dropped a glass full of rum onto the back there and took a chunk out of it 2 days after I bought it. But Cyril Tawney, you've got to forgive him because he was great. But and it's also got a hole in the front with long service hole there. So not only is the bouzouki 40 years old, I think the strings are 40 years old as well. heart is only happy to meet with the girl I left for me fortune. Now she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm bouncing with her life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. I left for the picking of her right with another man's ring on her finger. Cause now she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with her life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. And the man she married, a fearsome fighter and drinker. He struts around with other women and worse. Not a penny of wages he gives her. She's still another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with her life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. Parts of me I'll be losing. Well, I'm no coward, but I'd sooner they stay down here where I know I can use them. Oh, she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with her life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. I curse the day that I left her, but forbidden fruit is much better to taste. One never tasted together. Oh, she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with her life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. Oh, she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with her life. Wife, and I'll follow that with another song down here, one of these guitars. I started off with the song Coulter North Country from the Bead Weeps CD, and this song is from the same CD, from the same record back in 1993, I think. And this is called Greek Lightning. Dreams let you down, they just let you down, but they never leave you, no, they never leave you. The older I get, that I'm starting to lose decades. Actually, I thought this song was like 20 years old, but of course it's not. It's 30 years old, isn't it? Something like that. Anyway, this is Greek Lightning.
With nights in the taverns and days in the sun, we could leave drunken Saturday nights, the cold, damp Wednesday sign on, and see new skies lit up with Greek lightning. Yes, I promise to show you Greek lightning. Oh, in your heart it was easily won. The words had a way so exciting, just like they always do. You should have known, 'cause time staggered on, and you watched as I fell into booze, bloody bad temper and hell. But I always just managed to win you with talk of Greek lightning. And dreams let you down, they just let you down, but they never leave you. No, they never leave you. The wettest of Durham big meetings. Oh, how your heart it was easily won. I shouted for tunes by the Beatles, not that fat man from Athens they kept putting on, but the beer got me singing to his serenade, and you laughed all embarrassed in your lemonade. And I told you that one day I'd like to be a sky with Greek lightning. But many big meetings and chances have happened. Oh, since your heart it was easily won, your hopes have grown slim as I fatten on 6 pints a night till mid-old money's gone. Then I'll weep drunkard's tears all over your hands, sometimes call you a cow, then I think you're me man. Then you watch as I look for that flash in the pan of Greek lightning. And dreams let you down, they just let you down, but they never leave you. No, they never leave you. So we always make do for a week and a day with the hot sands of Rugger or Whitney Bay, and look to that high northern sky for a flash of Greek lightning. And dreams let you down, they just let you down, but they never leave you. No, they never leave you. No, they never leave you, and I'll never leave you.
It's Greek Lightning. Wow. And it's for anybody who's not going to be going to Greece for their holidays this year. This is the one which is again, quite a few people have asked me to do this one. It's a song, it's called Vikings, and I do it on the old mandolin here. coming from the northeast of England, as I'm sure most of us know, the Vikings used to come over from Scandinavia to the northeast coast of England most weekends, as I usually say, and they always made a big impression wherever they went, the Vikings. In this song, the idea is that by some weird Doctor Who kind of time warp situation, the Vikings return today. And what would they think if they came back today? Well, I don't know what they would think, but this is what the song's about anyway. That's what the Vikings say.
I know I must be off me head, you'll say, but there are Vikings living in the shed these days. Historically, I know they should be dead, cold as clay, but that's not our way, so say the Vikings. From Valhalla by the power of Odin, big fellas, long yellow hair, trim grins, they all look like the singer out of Led Zeppelin. Oh, can't we join in? So say the Vikings. When you go laughing, drinking, cursing and fighting, picking on the little people, isn't that the way of the world of today? That's what the Vikings say. They say we're sick of sleeping in the arms of four, while down here it's fun, fun and war, war, war. We managed without waking him to sneak out the door. Now we've come back for more, so say the Vikings. Here's our references and our CVs, some clippings from an ancient Nordic tapestry. Blood and lust and barbarism guaranteed, we always maim to please, so say the Vikings. When we go laughing, drinking, cursing and fighting, picking on the little people, isn't that the way of the world of today? That's what the Vikings say. Once we were happy in our hills and fjords, the saga of lager and smorgasbords. In long ships we started taking long trips abroad and thinking with our swords, so say the Vikings. We'd find some peaceful quiet village then, we'd start our berserk and rape and pillaging. To make the locals hate us was our stratagem. Now that's popular again, so say the Vikings. So let's go laughing, drinking, cursing and fighting, picking on the little people, isn't that the way of the world of today? That's what the Vikings say. We've missed the fun and frolic, so we've come back here to teach you how to rule the world through force and fear. All decked out with a brand new set of shields, swords and spears. We're sponsored by IKEA, so say the Vikings. Now they're shacked up in my shed, keeping their weapons clean, watching some Kirk Douglas movie scene by scene, and always whistling Mamma Mia or Dancing Queen. Don't we look mean, so say the Vikings. So let's go laughing, drinking, cursing and fighting, picking on the little people,
that one on a record called Doolally. So that comes from about 2004. So getting up there, getting nearby. I'll do this one though. This is again from Bead Weeps. I'm going to steal a couple from down here somewhere. This fits. And today, is it July the 9th? Today would have been my dad's birthday. And so this is a song especially for my dad. And he did hear it, I think. And kind of figures in a bit with him. Because he was one of the rescue workers when there was a big mining disaster in Easington Colliery, where I come from, back in the early 1950s. And this song's called The Last of the Widows of the Duckbill Seam. The Duckbill Seam was the part of the coal mine where the explosion took place, and there was 80 odd men were killed. This is The Last of the Widows. The last of the widows of the Duckbill Seam is lying tonight with her young man again. They're clinging fast together, soothing sighs and pain, and coaxing back the love their loss survived. The last of the widows of the Duckbill fled is brushing black dust from his strong brown hair. He's stretched on her bosom with his love laid bare, and making up for time fate stole away. Parting words were never spoken, last kisses never broken. She never even watched him walk away. But the last of the widows of the Duckbill Seam reached out and took his hand again today. The last of the widows of the Duckbill fire stood bleak and bewildered as the count climbed higher, then wept for the world across a newsroom wire when she heard his name called out across the crowd. And when the world had turned to leave, 80 women turned to grieve and cursed their compensation through their tears. But the last of the widows of the Duckbill Seam can close her eyes and wipe away the The last of the widows of the Duckbill flame is free of the lonely nights of bitterness and blame, and there's some who'll remember when they speak her name, the reason why she lived so long alone. And in the fields above the dangers of Gresford, Trimden Grange, Haswell, Hartley Beam and Markham Main, the last of the widows of the Duckbill Seam is walking with her idle lad again. There you go, Last Last of the Widows of the Duckbill theme. Something a bit lighter after that one, I think. And I'll try this one. This is my religious medley I'll do for you now, if that's okay. I come from an Irish Catholic family, and it's always very bad. I'm sure many of you will know. It's always very bad if any member of the family, Catholic family, goes astray and stops going to mass on a Sunday. Anyway, this song came about because years ago I used to play in a dance band called the Trimden Dance Band. I mentioned Trimden in that last song. We used to play in the Trimden Dance Band, and we used to play a regular gig at a Catholic social club somewhere up in the west side of County Durham. And we used to go there every few months and play there. And I actually saw this whole story happen. And it's an old priest. He thinks of a novel way of winning back his congregation after they stop going to church. And what he does, he gets a very good-looking young priest to come in as his curate. He thinks if you can't beat it, cure it. And all the women start coming back to church because of this good-looking young guy as the priest. And then all the men start coming back because they wonder what's going on. Before he knows it, the old priest has a big church full of people every Sunday morning. The song's called Father Mallory's Dance. And just a few weeks ago, somebody sent me all these clips, video clips, TV clips of people singing this song. The Clancy Brothers doing this one on the Gay Byrne show on Irish television back in, I don't know when, so it's not in the early 90s. Somebody else sent the McCalmans, great Scottish band, the McCalmans. They did a version of this. It was just a bit of a throwaway for me, really. But anyway, this is the song. So it's been kind of this is my religious medley, because I go into another religious song when I've finished. So this is Father Mallory's Dance.
Blesses the day of his young priest's selection. Not since God knows when there's full houses again and a decent collection. And the old church hall floor is heaving once more, with a Friday night band in full roar. And the girls are watching young Father plain and well known, it's for him alone, their hearts are all pining. There's an almighty gasp when he loosens the clasp of his collar stiff and shining. With his neck bare and bold, he hugs and he holds all the females over 60 years old. Stare, it's a hard crust Every Sunday I go walking to the high part of the town. Ever since my father went up there and he found half a crown. He said this is easy money, the conditions can't be beat. We never found a penny more, but it keeps us off the street. Keep your hands down in your pocket and your eyes down on the ground, for the streets are lined with silver in the high part of the town. Our house is not so crowded since me mum she ran away. She'd rather live from hand to mouth than live from day to day. Well, me father's often lonely, but it's a blessing in disguise. It's cured me mother's headaches and it's cured me dad's black eyes. Keep your hands down in your pocket and your eyes down on the ground, for the streets are lined with silver in the high part of the town. Then a man came from the council for to make me go to school. He asked me lots of questions, then he told me lots of rules. Then they tried to teach geography, but I found it much too hard. When they asked me where does coal come from, I answered next door's yard. Keep your hands down in your pocket and your eyes down on the ground, for the streets are lined with silver in the high part of the town. Then last Sunday night my father, he had a bit too much to sup. He swapped his Sunday overcoat for a 7-week-old pup. Well, they told him it was a bulldog, he believed them I suppose, but we found out it's a poodle with a badly broken nose. Keep your hands down in your pocket and your eyes down on the ground, for the streets are lined with silver in the high part of the town. They sent me home from school last week cause they said that I had nits. My mother said she was ashamed, but I was through it. All my friends were green with envy, so I knew just what to do. I sold them knits at 10 pence each and they all got sent home too. Keep your hands down in your pocket and your eyes down on the ground, for the streets are lined with silver in the high part of the town. Keep your hands down in your pocket and your eyes down on the ground, for the streets are lined with silver in the high part of the town.
My part of the town, 2 for the price of 1 there. Father Mellors Dance was the first one, and that was the high part of the town. And I'll try this one, yet another guitar. And this is a record I did with the Bad Pennies back in the mid 1990s. It's called Tenderhooks, and this is a song called Bait Up. I wish I had someone to put me bait up now. And bait is what the northeast, the sort of Geordie term for packed lunch. Your sandwiches that you take to work with you. It's your bait. And but it has sort of other meanings as well, other connotations certainly. Rest, young man, in the shadow of the clock we stand, and I feel it creeping dark across me brow. I wish I had someone to put me bait up now. And this song, it's a conversation between a young man and an old man. And I'm the young man in the song, so see how old this one is. It goes like this.
village clock chimed home in bed. An old man spat and swore. I've been out to paint the town, he said, but the town isn't there anymore. Can I walk beside you, though you're keen to be on your way? You must have someone that waits for you at the end of this long day. Rest, young man, in the shadow of the clock we stand, and I feel it creeping dark across my brow. I wish I had someone to put me bed up now. My house, he said, will be empty, the grate will be long since cold. I might be my own master, but I'm a slave to getting old. It's a long time since I woke up, turned out but a lonely night. A long time since my bed was waiting, wrapped up neat and tight. Rest, young man, in the shadow of the clock we stand, and I feel it creeping dark across my brow. I wish I had someone to put me bed up now. I've walked my share of young girls home across this wintry dark, and had to leave them sleeping so as not to be late for work. I sometimes dream they lie there still, so soft and warm and young, but I guess they're old and grey like me, or even dead and gone. Rest, young man, in the shadow of the clock we stand, and I feel it creeping dark across my brow. I wish I had someone to put me bed up now. My father used to warn me, I thought that he was mad. He said, times that make you happy just turn round and make you sad. I really shouldn't drink this much at my age, it's just not right. But I'm as tired as stupid deputies, and I haven't eaten a bite. Rest, young man, in the shadow of the clock we stand, and I feel it creeping dark across my brow. I wish I had someone to put me bed up now. Bed up. Right, put this down here somewhere. And again, that's one someone's asked me to do for last time as well, so I managed to get that in this time. I'll try a new song out on you, if that's all right. I'm in the middle of doing a new CD, so I thought I'd just sling this one in, which is just a little short, daft one, really. It's my conservation song. It's a song called Farmer's Son. Not, I mean, sun in the sky, not farmer's son. It's Farmer's Son, old Farmer's Son. And a lot of the fields, when you're driving around, not that you get much chance to drive around these days, but when you do drive around, you see a lot of windmills, certainly here in England, white windmills, and glass panels for solar panels and stuff. And a lot of the farmland is being turned over to that, and that's what this song's about an old guy who gives up his life on the farm to try and get
a safer way of getting energy. That's the idea. Old Farmer's Son. And it goes like this. Old man of the land, tell me what have you done? You've wasted good meadows to harvest the sun. There's black grass, not green grass, where cattle once grazed, as if Phoebus could feed us, though feeble her rays. A sower, a reaper, what have you become? You're just old farmer's son, we call you old farmer's son. He said my grandfather bowed down and once sold his soul to barons who scraped away his land for their coal. Black money from black honeycombs that choked out young breath and sentenced the sky to a sly, smoky death. But now hearts are beating to a new day's drum. Call me old farmer's son, just call me old farmer's son. So let's lend the towers and white waving mills, spin round my sky and dance around my hills, and wade into water to hum to the fishes, and drink up the warm breeze with all of its riches. There's harvest enough there to feed everyone, says old farmer's son, call me old farmer's son. There's harvest enough there to feed everyone, says old farmer's son, just call me old farmer's son. There you go. That's a little new song that hopefully you'll hear if and when the new CD comes out. Time for a couple more, I think, if that's okay with everybody. And this is I mentioned other people singing me songs, which is always such a treat, such a great thing when somebody else records your songs or sings your song. And this was one that was recorded by Fairport Convention, who I was a big fan of theirs when I was a babe in arms. And this is a song they did where Simon Nichols sang this one on one of their albums back in the mid-1990s, but it's from one of my albums, Bad Penny, I think this is from. It is, in fact. This is called London Danny. London Danny, you're a real bad penny, though woman. Time has taught me I should fear, 'cause her you left behind. She said she would be mine, so why'd you have to come and show your face round here? 'Cause she always
always said that time would make it right, and now I always hear a sighing in the night. And don't think I don't know, if you asked her then she'd go, but please now don't you take her from me, London Danny. Well, I've learned to listen for your name round town when people talk of your success in city life, and I could never tell if she heard them talk as well, and ruled the day she ever was a poor man's wife. But she always said that time would make it right, and now I always hear a sighing in the night. And don't think I don't know, if you asked her then she'd go, but please now don't you take her from me, London Danny. And my hands are black while yours are clean and clever, and there's ways, you know, to turn a pretty head, when it's all that I can do when my working day's through, to let a heart beat me to sleep at night in bed. But she always said that time would make it right, and now I always hear a sighing in the night. And don't think I don't know, if you asked her then she'd go, but please now don't you take her from me, London Danny. You're a real bad penny, though, one man. Time has taught me I should fear, 'cause her you left behind, she said she would be mine. So why'd you have to come and show your face round here? Because she always said that time would make it right, and now I always hear a sighing in the night. And don't think I don't know, if you asked her then she'd go, but please now don't you take her from me, London Danny.
It's London Danny. So one more song from me. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as I said before, look after yourself, take care and stuff. And the next few things I'm doing some pre-recorded gigs for some of the festivals, for Sidmouth Festival and Whitby Festival and Oxford Festival, which is festivals where I would have been playing this summer. Not the Oxford one, in fact. The Oxford one's it's a sort of it's a live gig. That one, that's in September, I think. Anyway, but thanks ever so much for listening, and we've just about run out of time. So if you have to go off to the pub in the middle of this, I'll forgive you. And if you're interested in any of my CDs or my books, check out jezlowe.com. You can get stuff mail order anywhere in the world. And I'll finish with this one. This is from way back. I think I did this one about 1983. When I was young, my father said to me, he said to me,
Never take advice when it comes for free, 'cause you can have all the riches of the golden kind, but without the riches of your peace of mind, you won't make almost. You won't make almost. You won't make almost. You'll see. As the old men sit and curse time slipping sand, time slipping sand, I sit and curse the time upon my hands. And the north wind blows like a song of the sea, the song that it carries comes playing to me and says, you won't make almost. You won't make almost. You won't make almost. You'll see. Now there are some folks, they might remark me furrows and frown, me furrows and frown, and say the only ways to get up when they put you down. Oh, that everybody gives the same advice. They said go sign up for a soldier's life, or you won't make almost. You won't make almost. You won't make almost. You'll see. So I went to the army like everybody told me to do. They said we'd love to make a soldier out of you. But before I put my name on the line, my father's words come to me in time. He said you won't make almost. You won't make almost. You won't make almost. You'll see. I said your guns and your drums are not for the likes of me, the likes of me. For the future it might look bleaker than bleak can be, because you talk of many owing much to few, when all that I wanted was a job to do. They said you won't make almost. You won't make almost. You won't make almost. You'll see. So you people in power and position, I tell you beware, I tell you beware of your facts and your figures that tell you what, when and where, because your facts and your figures are the likes of me, and don't try and tell me how my life should be, or you won't make almost. You won't make almost. You won't make almost. You'll see.
Thanks ever so much. Thanks very much. Take care now. Look after yourselves and stay safe. See you later.